The gridiron to the airwaves. It's time for the Martin Houston Show with Martin and Xavier. Martin is a national championship fullback from the 1992 Alabama Crimson Tide. Known for his bruising runs and devastating blocks now, he's bulldozing through sports talk with that same championship intensity. Joining him is his son, Xavier, a savant of football knowledge and statistical insight. He's your go-to source for the latest recruiting news and insider updates from across the Bama Nation. Together, they deliver fair and balanced analysis from an insider's perspective with real conversations with the callers, the listeners, and the online maniacs get in on the action by sharing their thoughts, their comment, and their reaction. Join our online maniacs at facebook.com/The Martin Houston Show. You're listening to Tide 100.9 and 1230 WTBC. It's time for kickoff, so buckle up and get ready, because this is the sound of Bama sports. The Martin Houston Show with Martin and Xavier is live. Roll Tide, roll!
Game. It was last year. I think it always has been. That's the tradition here. You can see what their team is made up of. It's physical players. I think they got elite skill, both offensively and defensively, whether it's coverage or being able to win on the perimeter and the running backs as well. So this rivalry goes way back. We do the introduction with our team and talk about it was 1895 if I remember right, doing the research, and that's a lot of games that have happened between these two schools, and so we're looking at this as one of those rivalry games that I was told much about when I first got here. So it's going to be, again, a great environment, a lot of pride, both for our program and theirs as well.
Good morning. Welcome into the Martin Houston Show with Martin and Xavier. It's a Thursday edition of the program. We're live, local, and ready to get things rolling. That's Coach DeBoer talking about the LSU game and it being a big rivalry game, and that this is going to be the latest edition. Will the Alabama Crimson Tide be ready to take care of business against the LSU Tigers? We got a great show lined up for you today. It's going to be just me and you. X is out today. We have no guests lined up. So it'll be you and I taking it through the morning. We invite you to jump in on the conversation on the hotline. You can call us at 205-342-9904, 205-342-9904. That is the hotline and can get you in on the conversation. Also, can inviting the maniacs to jump in this morning. I love those guys jumping in over there. They keep the conversation rolling. We'll have some maniac moments powered by Empowerment Leadership and People Solutions. Tim Richardson, heavy hitter, coming in. Hollywood, the barber. Jacob Powell. Mr. Risa Pittner, Bam Bam 72, Samuel Pittner, Lance Larkin, Rodriguez Carlisle. We got RS Sports, Blind Squirrel Sports jumping back in, Piano Man 61 as well. Hey, listen, it's a lot to get to, lots of conversation. Gonna have a little bit of carryover from yesterday. I did a little rethinking on the Ryan Williams. Yeah, I think QD, he's not on here yet, but I'm sure he'll be jumping in here in a moment. QD and I had some extensive conversation about Lottie Brooks. Some of you all said that Ryan Williams needs to step up. I'm not going to disagree with you on any of that. We'll talk about it. I'll give you some more thoughts on that. Got some great conversation that that I want to get to you. Here's kind of the flow of the show. We'll get to what we get to. If we don't get to it, we just carry it over from to tomorrow. Yesterday, we were talking about Alabama versus LSU and the players who need to step up? Okay, that was our question yesterday, and we got a lot of conversation around players that need to step up. We had a lot of conversation around the defensive guys. And Ryan Williams jumped up. So today we're going to just focus mostly on offense. If you missed yesterday, we talked about Sab needing to step up. We talked about uh, others need to step up around Keenan and Lawson, who I think those two guys will step up more. I think they're stepping up is coming. I think we talked about, Quay Russaw, and when he comes back, what are they going to do with Yunze? So it was a varied conversation. But today we're going to talk a little bit more about what needs to happen on the offense, and I'm going to give you my thoughts there. You're always welcome to bring your thoughts into it as well. My thoughts really quick on who needs to step up is the Alabama versus LSU players who need to step up this game and moving down offensive line, running back room, and I put Danny Lewis in there as well. And before I get into those guys, I am going to circle back on the Ryan Williams conversation. Remember that this is a day that the Lord has made, so let's rejoice, be glad in it. Take some time today to notice someone, love someone, serve someone, be the difference you want to see in the world today. Let's jump on the phone lines. We already got Robert wanting to get in, and we didn't even talk about college football rankings. Roll Tide, we're number 4 now. Anyway, Robert, you're in on the hotline. What's on your mind, sir?
I guess it's the main thing, huh? where Alabama ranked.
That's right.
Hey, what do you think? It seems like to me, Texas A&M was the one that was interesting to me. So the committee is saying that going undefeated in the Big Ten is more impressive than going undefeated in the SEC. I mean, that's the only conclusion I can draw. What do you think?
You're talking about the fact that they gave Ohio State and Indiana 1 and 2, and Texas A&M, yeah, and that proves your point that you talk about when you say the AP polls and all of those rank. Like, let's say you were to take the average fans, go back and look at the season, and there was no rankings, none out there at all. They did not exist. You would not have Texas A&M at number 3. You would have them at 1. Let me tell you why it's his hypocrisy in what they're saying. Who's 10 and 2? I mean, who's 6 and 2?
Oh,
Who's 6 and 2 and in the top 10?
Well, it's a bunch of SEC teams: Alabama, Georgia.
Yeah.
I mean, two. I'm sorry, two.
Notre Dame. Notre Dame.
Right, Notre Dame.
So Notre Dame has 2 losses, 1 to Miami and 1 to Texas A&M.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so and now they have 6 wins. You're saying by putting them in front of Texas and Oklahoma, it's like contradictory. They lost to Texas A&M, but you're saying that Texas A&M may not be that good in the SEC because you didn't put them in front of the Ohio State. They're undefeated, but yet a team that lost to an ACC team like Alabama and a team that lost to an SEC school is better than the teams that lost to. How many losses does Texas have? 2, right?
2, yes, 2.
And one of them is to the number 1 team in the country. But yet you have another 2-loss team that lost to the number 3 team in the country. And you put them behind them. So you're either giving Notre Dame love or you really believe Notre Dame is a really, really good team. But you don't have the same mindset to put Texas A&M at number 1. So I agree with you. They're saying They're saying that, and this is the way I would answer that question. Tell me what teams in the top 10 would not have the same record as Ohio State and Oklahoma with their roster. Only one you could say that about possibly is Alabama, because we did lose to an inferior team. Right?
Yeah.
But you would say that Notre Dame would be 8-0, 9-0. You would say BYU is 8-0, right? All those other teams, in my opinion, Robert, they would have had the same record. I would ask, how many of those teams do you think would have the same record as A&M or Alabama?
And the inferior team that Alabama lost to isn't as bad as Wisconsin or some of the other Big Ten teams that Ohio State and Indiana has been beating up on. But okay, I just don't see how the SEC doesn't want to reevaluate scheduling going forward. But like you said, you let these polls influence them. Okay, the early polls have influence. Then there needs to be some real, especially after week 3 or week 4. Then those the AP and the coaches really need to try put real effort into ranking these teams based on what they really believe, and not because they're tired of Alabama or they're tired of the SEC. There's that. I think there was just a trade-off to the SEC. We got so many teams in the top 10. So they were saying, all right, well, we'll give you all these teams, but you can't be number 1 and 2. It sounds like it looks like me like that's what happened.
Well, here's the question I would have, Robert. If I were to be an ESPN analyst and they let me talk to the crew after they did the rankings, you know what? One of the first questions I would ask them is, okay, undoubtedly you think the SEC is a really good conference based on the number of teams you have ranked. You say that you have strength of schedule and record of schedule, meaning, okay, your strength of schedule is supposed to be about, okay, let's look at who they play. And let's look at how they play against those they play. One school has 4 wins against teams you have ranked. How many ranked wins do the other top 12 teams have combined? And then stack where they're ranked. Ohio State has a win against number 20. Their strength of schedule is significantly lower than ours, right? But they only have 1 ranked win. Indiana has 1 ranked win against a number 17, right? I think. Alabama, 2 of Alabama's ranked wins are 5 and 6. One of Alabama's ranked wins is number 5, right? So Alabama, when you go that way, they're better. If strength of schedule matters and not record, strength of schedule, the way they said they were doing it, Robert, is strength of schedule and your record against that strength.
Yeah, which is fair, which how it should be.
Right, but they don't.
But they're not really doing
that. They're not following that because Alabama has 4 wins against one of the strongest strength of schedules. You still have to be punishing people, some people for losses and other people not for losses. Because outside of the 2 tough teams that Notre Dame got beat on, to me, Notre Dame losing to Miami is very similar to Alabama losing to Florida State. That's a wash, right? If they played again, Notre Dame would probably beat Miami because they have a freshman quarterback that's gotten better. Alabama would beat Florida State. So you shouldn't punish those 2 teams for the first week.
Especially on the road. I think Notre Dame might have been at home, but it's home on the road.
No. It was in Miami, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yeah, exactly. It's on the road early in the season. But, all right. I just don't. You keep sending the message, just win. And if you keep sending that message, well, then why? I'm not going to play these harder teams. It's not going to, especially on their home stadium. It'll be a neutral site. If anything, if we play at all, it's going to be neutral site. But it's not going to be for home and away, which what everybody said they wanted to see. But you're not incentivizing anybody to do that, especially a team that potentially lose. But okay, fine. That's how you want to go. Then we should do accordingly.
Yeah, and I think the SEC. I think you're going to see some. The SEC, of course, going to 9 games, which is going to make it even tougher. But unfortunately, you're going to probably see them really drop the other caliber of games.
I dropped the 9 too. Go back to 8.
I think that everybody else politics so much against us. And the committee said we're going to start counting strength of schedule. I think the SEC thought if the strength of schedule was really legit, then going to a 9th game would help. But I'm not sure that they're going to feel that way by the end of the year.
Yeah, if this should prove itself not legit, then forget about it. No, we're not doing it. And all those great games that people would have really wanted to see, that's just not going to happen to you. So something changes with this election. So, okay, man.
All right, man. Appreciate you, Robert. All right, hey, coming back on the other side, we can keep the college football conversation rolling. I know the Maniacs have some comments, but also back on the other side, conversation that I promised we're going to get into is Alabama versus LSU players who need to step up in that conversation. We have the offensive line, running back room, and Danny Lewis. That's my 3. Who do you think needs to step up on the offensive side of the ball? Or maybe special teams. Maybe it's our kicker needs to step up. We need to be able to trust that we can go out and kick a 41-yard field goal or further. Does he need to step up? Will that cost us down the stretch? Those conversations and more right here on the Martin Houston Show with Martin and Xavier coming up next.
Tide 100.9 traffic.
Tuscaloosa traffic now from the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center. A very good Thursday morning to you. Starting out nice and light for your Thursday. Moving about Skyland Boulevard, you only have intersections logos at McFarland and 69. 2059 cruises between 359 and Joe Malisham. All good to go on McFarland as you travel in both directions between Watermelon and 43. And moving on Lurleen Wallace. That's also wide open for you between 15th and McFarland. With your Tuscaloosa traffic now, Tammy Thomas.
This report is sponsored by King's Hawaiian Sliders.
Weather brought to you by Tidwell Chiropractic, the only third-generation chiropractor with over 27 years experience in Tuscaloosa. Call Tidwell Chiropractic at 752-7503.
Eli Manning here. There's nothing like football and King's Hawaiian Sliders. There's something about those soft, fluffy, irresistible King's Hawaiian Sliders that make them a winner on game day. Pick some up this weekend in the bakery or deli section of your grocery store. King's Hawaiian. There's nothing like it.
Did you know that 90% of the lawyers you see or hear advertised aren't even in Alabama?
Just think about that. I used this guy, Stephen Mesrano, twice because he did what no other lawyers could do. He won for me, and he can win for you. Mez wins.
Thanks, guys. I'm attorney Stephen Mesrano, and I win. Call me, 205-800-8000, and let me fight for you. And when you call, you'll actually talk to me. 205-800-8000. I've got this.
No representations made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Uh-oh. Was that grape juice or the dog's bath time? Don't panic. New Floors To Go has your back and your floor. Their pet-proof, kid-proof flooring is tougher than a toddler with a juice box and a Labrador in Zoomies mode. Spills, scratches, tantrums, bring it on. New Floors To Go. Flooring so durable, even your in-laws won't ruin it. Visit New Floors To Go on Greensboro Avenue today because life's messy, but your floor doesn't have to be.
your flagship home of Alabama sports.
All season long, don't miss a minute of Alabama football coverage right here on 95.3 The Bear and Tide 100.9 and 12:30 a.m. WTBC. And that means after the games, the Tide post-game show is live. Call in, talk about what just happened on the field, hear great moments from the game. The Tide post-game show is powered by Pearl River Resort, DCH Regional Medical Center, Tuscaloosa Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, and 2 Dimes.
Hey, I'm Martin Houston, and I want to tell you about exciting news happening at Box Eye Care. They moved to their new location, bringing you a brand new lab, stylish new frames, and a fresh look just for you. Enjoy their expanded frame inventory, competitive prices, and faster service, all with the same great level of service you've come to know and trust. Discover this full-service eye care at Box Eye Care's new location. With their in-house lab, they offer unbeatable value and one of the largest frame collections in town. Schedule your eye exam today and walk out with new glasses in less than an hour in most cases. Visit boxeyecare.com. That's boxeyecare.com, or call 205-342-0660. That's 205-342-0660. Visit them at 5003 Oscar Baxter Drive. That's Box Eye Care. Your vision, our priority.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
The sky partly to mostly sunny today, the high 75. Tonight, increasingly cloudy with the low at 52. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, a chance of developing showers and thunderstorms, the high 73. A small chance of a shower Saturday, the high 76. I'm James Spann with the Alabama Weather Network on Tide 100.9. It's 44 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
It's time for the Martin Houston Show. With the same hard-hitting, no-nonsense approach in which he played the game, Martin will take you inside the locker room, down on the field, and across the goal line with his in-depth analysis.
You know, as I've always said, whenever adversity comes, it's your response, and I think any type of adversity he's ever had, his response is always to go attack. And whether it's coming off of an injury or whether it's coming off of, you know, just him wanting to play better than he did the week before, it's always 100%. He's you know, from a character trait, just humility that he has. He's all about the team 100%. When he really focuses on that and trying to be the best he can, which is really the case all the time, man, it's just so much fun being on the football field with him every day in practice. And you know, he runs his routes full speed. He's doing the extra work before practice, after practice. No one on our team is ever going to question the work that he puts in and how important it is to him. But you know, he's continued to attack, just getting better. You know, and I think that's shown up. You know, we're all human, so he's not going to be perfect, but he's really continued to hone in on the things that matter. I think you continue to see him trend up.
All right, that's Coach DeBoer talking about freshman sensation Ryan Williams having what we're calling, I think some people are calling, a sophomore slump. We're going to talk about that in just a moment. But before we move on, we need to just hit a couple maniac moments powered by Empowerment Leadership and People Solutions. First off, Chase, do you have any birthday music, man? Do you have any birthday music? We got a birthday boy, Rodriguez Carlisle. I don't know how old he is. I'm saying 37. I have no idea. Happy birthday to Rodriguez Carlisle. He's a regular part of the show, one of the maniacs jumping in. And hey, listen, guys, if you have a birthday that comes up, man, let us know. So we're all fam on here. So happy birthday to Rodriguez Carlisle. I would sing happy birthday to you, Rodriguez, but I was close, man. But 35 is even better. There's nothing better than 35. All right. So happy 35th birthday to Rodriguez Carlisle. Hey, Chase, I always tell people I'm kind of the guy. I'm the black pastor that would sing every sermon. What sometimes referred to as hooping, but I can't sing a lick. I can't carry a tune in a bucket without messing it up. So I'm not gonna sing happy birthday to him, but Maniacs, wish him. I'll wish him a very happy birthday. Just a few comments from the Maniacs that was in response to that conversation about college football playoffs. Here's a few things that everybody's talking about. Tim Richardson, heavy hitter, said, I don't trust the committee after putting Notre Dame at number 10. They're basically in without choking out their last couple games. So true, talking about Notre Dame. That is a true line. Jason Rutledge, great idea. I love this idea chased by Jason Rutledge. He said, baseline them. Make the Big Ten SEC teams play 3 teams from each conference yearly. And make sure it's not one of these Ohio State plays Kentucky and Alabama or whatever plays, Illinois, which, by the way, they're getting credit for Illinois because they ranked Illinois high. Illinois is not a good football team. But anyway, have some type of challenge similar to basketball. You now have some baseline, a little bit of that, but make it official so people really get hyped about it. Tim Richardson saying in the Maniac Moments that the committee is not following their own guidelines. Jason Rutledge came back and said the committee will never follow guidelines because it's all about money. Like, honestly, in 2025, why do we have a committee selecting teams for the 12-team playoff? Jason, because of what you said. It's about money. Chase, let me ask you this question. If the committee, to me, the committee in football should be just like the committee in basketball. All the hay's in the barn. And then you select. But the reason they don't do that is because the selection committee, guys, is not about picking who's going to make the playoffs. The selection committee is about ESPN having 6, 7, 8 weeks of programming. Right, Jace? That's what it's about. It's not about the teams who's ranked where. The reality of it is to create something for you and I to do on Tuesday, and then for the conversation to happen all week long, and then we come back another Tuesday and repeat it. So that's what it's all about when it comes to the committee there. So we'll talk more about that as well. Hey, that's been the Maniac Moments powered by Empowered Leadership and People Solutions. We're going to go ahead and get the break here to get back on schedule. Coming back on the other side, we'll talk about the Alabama LSU game and the fact that the offensive line, the running backs, Danny Lewis, all need to step up. Who else you got? Needs to step up. We'll talk about it on the other side.
Tide 100.9 traffic.
Tuscaloosa traffic now from the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center. A very good Thursday morning to you. Starting out nice and light for your Thursday. Moving about Skyland Boulevard, you only have intersections logos at McFarland and 69. 2059 cruises between 359 and Joe Malisham. All good to go on McFarland as you travel in both directions between Watermelon and 43. And moving on Lurleen Wallace. That's also wide open for you between 15th and McFarland. With your Tuscaloosa traffic now, Tammy Thomas.
Outlets sparking, lights are blowing. Don't do it yourself, or you'll be glowing. Call Taylor Electric. We do it all. Taylor Electric. Give the Bosch man a call.
Thank you to all of our wonderful customers. If you need us, call or text 205-553-0958.
Touchdown! Hey guys, look at me. Now look at yourselves. I make the big plays and the big games. You don't. Yeah, you would have made Allstate if Coach put you in. Keep telling that story, or you can actually play the game. The sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino puts you in the starting lineup. I'll still be making the plays, you'll be making the bets, and finally getting the sports glory you deserve. The sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. Play the game.
Black Friday is happening now at the Home Depot, which means it's time to get your home ready for all your holiday moments and traditions.
Hi.
Hey. Right now, you can bring home holiday magic with our wide assortment of dazzling pre-lit trees under $99. Spend more time creating memories and less time assembling with Quick Connect technology that makes it easy to set up your new tree in a few clicks.
Wow.
Hurry in for Black Friday happening now at the Home Depot.
The Town Square Media Big Buck Contest is back October 15th through February 10th. There will be an open range division winner, youth division winner, overall winner, and weekly winners. Each winner will receive sponsor prizes. Take your buck to be scored at Hicks Taxidermy on 69 North in North Fort, just before Carroll's Creek Baptist Church. Sponsored by Tuscaloosa Tractor, Castaway Fish Co., Crimson Pride Hunting and Fishing, Precision Armory, Junction Grocery, Urbans, Military Surplus R Us, and Adams Heating and Cooling.
I've always wanted to learn French, but the app I tried didn't help.
If you want to memorize words in another language, there's an app for that. But if you want to really learn another language, there's Babbel. Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different. Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Babbel feels like it was created intentionally by people who really know what you need to learn another language. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Want to really learn another language? Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com to save up to 50%. Babbel.com.
The sound of Bama Sports. Your show, your team. The Martin Houston Show on your home for Alabama sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Yeah, I think it just really goes into having a great staff that puts a great game plan together, gets it dialed in a timely manner, when you have players that go make plays and they get those extra practices in on a great game plan and go execute, that's really what matters. It's really what it comes down to. And so, I expect the same thing with our staff. They've done a great job, really focused and have the routine down, the timeline of when we want to install certain things, having practices that are fresh and guys excited to be out there in the football field, continue to get better. So, yesterday, like I said, was a great practice. It wasn't long, but it was just, a dialed-in Sunday practice, and looking forward to getting on the field tomorrow, Tuesday, and I think our guys are really excited about it as well.
That's Coach Kalen DeBoer talking about bye-week success. Probably his three most dominant games, potentially. At least in the first half, has come off of bye weeks. Georgia first half last year, Georgia first half this year, LSU last year, the complete game. Will we see more of that on Saturday? I hope so. And if we do, maybe we'll see some of the guys we want to see step up and players who need to step up. We really for the most part, have been like naming position groups. O-line needs to step up. Running back needs to step up. Danny Lewis needs to step up. So when I look at it, I kind of think through and go, okay, how does the O-line step up? What does the O-line really need to do in terms of stepping up? You say that, but you have to kind of be specific. Where does the O-line need to step up? And I think that's the question that we were getting yesterday from one of our online listeners. Mark on the Tide app said, is it the O-line or is it the running back room? Which one is it, guys? Is it the O-line? Is it the running back room? As to why we struggle running the ball. Or could it be play calling? That's a third aspect to the run game. Is it the play calling or the play design more so than play calling? Because based on the percentage of how much we're going to run the ball, I think we're calling. So is it run blocking? Is it play calling? Is it the running backs themselves? Keith Holcomb saying it's run blocking. Then he said, no, it's both. What about all three? What if it's run, play, design? What if you don't have runs that are designed to do what we're looking for? What are some of those things? And then John from Mount Washington said, can you pinpoint the issue with the O-line and how much better can they be? Watch this. McGill MP said, it's the scheme. Yes, I think it's all of those things kind of like a recipe. They're all coming into one to give us the type of run game we have. But, and that's what Keith Holcomb said, D, all the above. Yes, I think it's all the above. And watch this. I'm going to throw one more wrinkle in. And I would love to hear you guys' thoughts in reaction to it. One more wrinkle into it is the tight end position. Cuevas has been awesome in the receiving game, but he's not a dominant inline run blocker. And who was supposed to be that inline run blocker for this team? Supposed to be Danny Lewis. And Danny Lewis has been IR the majority of the season. Even when he's been out there, he hasn't been 100%. He hasn't been full. And why do I say I'm saying I believe Danny Lewis needs to step up? Because he gives you more. Okay. Think about this. If you look at the offensive line and you have 5 offensive linemen, you have the 0 gap or 1 gap, which is to the right and left cheek of the center. That's right up the middle of the field. And then you start going, A gap, B gap, C gap. Well, we really don't have any C gap runs, a lot of C gap runs, because we don't have a tight end. So we're running our tight end. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say we don't have a tight end. We don't have that dominant tight end that we feel we can put out there and that can block one-on-one with an outside linebacker. So you kind of lose some of that C gap. But when you have a tight end, not only do you have C gap runs, you also have a D gap where you can get outside to the edge. So between the guard and the center, the guard and the center, between the guard and the tackle, that's where we pretty much have to run based on our run blocking. Well, it's also easier to stop those types of runs when you don't have the threat of running on the edge. You add a dominant tight end, now all of a sudden, instead of man, I wish you could see what's in my head. Let's say they have 3 down linemen and a linebacker. Let's say we're playing against Alabama. You put Tim Keenan on the nose, right? And you got James Smith. He's somewhere on the tackle, right? Somewhere on the tackle, either head up to inside, shaded. Now you have on the other side, you have good gracious, number 22. I'm drawing a blank. I'm getting old, y'all. Please forgive me. you have your defensive end, and now you have 3 guys, and you have 5 guys in the block run game. There's 2 linebackers, our linebackers. LT Overton. I knew it would come back. You have LT Overton on the outside because he has edge contain. Okay. Then you put your fourth down lineman or Xavier, and he's on the outside shoulder of the tackle. That's still tight, right? Because now they have two linebackers in there. So they actually have 6 guys in that space. You bring the tight end in, now they have what? They have to spread either Xavier, if he's on that side, they have to spread him out even more. And if that guy can block him one-on-one, bam, you're in business. Chances are what they'll do is they'll flip and put the outside linebacker maybe on the other side, on the short side of the field or the short side of the line. Put Overton on that side. Can our tight end block that defensive end one-on-one? Because you've now created a space to the tight end side of the field where Keenan is probably shaded to that side, Smith is on that side, and the other guys on that side. So on the backside, now you have a defensive end that has to run up the field. You have one linebacker to play that side. And if you can get those guys one-on-one, you have natural holes, natural splits. Anyway, I think a tight end helps our run game. Not just in the sense of spreading out the defense, but it also does a couple other things. Here, and I think McGill MP said it a little bit. Let me see, what did he say? We need to see. I think he said something about sweeps, a little tall sweep, or off tackle plays. Know how they have to play the defense. When we played against teams that had only had 3 or 4 down linemen and didn't have 2 outside linebackers, man, we used to love to run off that tackle, let that defensive guy run up the field, lead up there with the fullback. You can have an H-back, whatever way you want to do it. Put Lewis at tight end, put Cuevas at H-back, let him lead up in on the linebacker, and all of a sudden you are ready to go down the field. So, like I said, I think it's the scheme. I think it's the running back. But a couple other questions I have to ask you, though. When you look at this run game, guys, what does it say about our running backs when Jeremy Bernard is the guy who usually lines up in the backfield in key 3rd down or 4th down Wildcat situations? Why do you think that's the case? Why do you think he's the guy that they choose to line up in those situations? I'm thinking it's probably because of vision. It's a run situation. It's an obvious run down. And they know that the defense knows this is an obvious run down. So what do? They want a guy who may not necessarily they want a guy who that if there's not great blocking, this running back can pick the hole. And a lot of times they go with Jeremy Bernard as either the decoy or as a guy, as he's lined up in a Wildcat, etc. Think about our biggest run plays or our most talked about run plays this year come from who? A wide receiver and an offensive lineman. I don't think that I think we have good running backs. I think that Samuel Pittman says it. They trust him to see the field. So that's why they do that. So that tells you probably part of our challenge in the run game. I don't think our running backs necessarily have great vision. And McGill MP, we'll talk about. I'm gonna give some maniac moments on the other side because you guys are giving some great responses to it. Let me finish wrapping up that conversation around the running game. I think that the run game is gonna have to be supplemented with things like what would you do if this was your team? What I would do is we're not going to run the ball. We're not going to be dominant in the traditional run game. So what I would like to see a little bit more of is a little bit more off tackle, a little bit more tall sweep, because I can tell you we've only ran it a couple times, and we've had success when we pitched the ball back to Daniel Hill and sent him off tackle or on the tall sweep. He's got good runs. So maybe we need to do that a little bit more. McGill, yeah, that's it. We have to. If you run into a phone booth, it doesn't take much to tackle you. And if you continue to run into the phone booth, everybody knows that. So they don't have to, there's no threat. The other part is, do we need to be more aggressive in the deep ball game to help the run game? Could we take the Steve Spurrier approach where he passed the ball in order to set up the run game? Is that what we need to do? Is that where this Alabama run game needs to go? But here's something I would ask you. This is something I would ask you. Speed sweeps, RPOs, bubble screens, and slants. All of those things, do we need to see more of those types of things? Do we need to see more speed sweep in the run game? Do we need to see more RPOs in the run? More RPOs versus Ty changing everything before the snap? Should we trust Ty a little bit more to transition to a run out of a pass formation? Because what we're doing right now is he gets us to the right play, but the defense know that we're adjusting from a pass play to a run play, from a run play to a pass play. What would happen if all of a sudden Ty Simpson was changing it and everybody offensively was able to get onto the same page? We're not using RPO game, I don't think, any at all. What about some bubble screens to spread guys out? Guys, I'm telling you, I think it's about the tight end, right? I think the tight end, when you only have the 5 offensive linemen as a whole in your run game and you're only running between the zero hole, A gap, B gap, people aren't worried about it, so they're tight. And they know that's where the run's going to come, and they're not playing off the other side. So we'll be back on the other side. We'll get some maniac moments in response to some of the things that you're just talking about. You guys are burning it up. I think we had Pat. Call back in. You can get back in. We'll be back on the other side. Right on Martin Houston Show, Martin and Xavier, powered by good folks over at Dixie Battery Supply. Dixie Battery Supply. Go check them out, DixieBatterySupply.com. And on tomorrow, we're going to have a free-for-all Friday, powered by TJ's Pharmacy and Wellness. TJ's Pharmacy and Wellness, they power our free-for-all Friday. We'll be back tomorrow. In a moment with more of that conversation.
Tide 100.9 traffic.
Tuscaloosa traffic now from the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center. Well, traffic remains light so far in most parts. I do, however, see some heavier activity on Skyland Boulevard, and this is moving westbound at Old Greensboro Road. So just look out for that. And also Greensboro Avenue, both north and southbound at Skyland. That's a little on the slower side as well. 2059, now that's wide open, moving in between 359 and Joe Malisham right there inside those construction zones. With your Tuscaloosa traffic now, I'm Tammy Thomas.
This report is sponsored by Unbound.org. Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice: continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at Unbound.org.
Only at Townsend Nissan, every new and select used vehicle includes a lifetime powertrain warranty. And right now, get up to $7,000 off new Nissans. Family owned, serving Tuscaloosa for over 50 years. Townsend Nissan, where peace of mind comes standard.
When you need to know, there's only one place to go. The Tuscaloosa Thread. Get the app and sign up for the 2 daily newsletters. Only from the Tuscaloosa Thread.
Got timberland in West Alabama or East Mississippi, North River Timber Company has you covered. Since 2011, Courtney White, a registered forester, along with his expert team, have been managing timberland and harvesting timber across 4 West Alabama counties. They offer comprehensive timber management plans, reforestation services, and appraisals. Courtney White says timber is like money in the bank. Don't let your investment go unrealized. Call North River Timber Company today. Email them at northrivertimberco@gmail.com or call 205-242-5100. 927.
Hey guys, are you ready to take control of your health, energy, and performance? Primetime Men's Health Clinic is ready to help. Their clinic is built around the idea that men deserve better care, private and tailored to their lives. So if you're experiencing low testosterone, weight gain, hair loss, ED, or just want to perform like you did in your 20s, go to primetimemensclinic.com and change your life. That's right, guys. Change your life by going to primetimemensclinic.com.
Taco Casa, quality, taste, and value under the biggest cactus in town. They've been doing it the right way each and every day for 50 years and counting. If you're looking for a great option for lunch and or dinner, then you need to check out Taco Casa. Taco Casa, and while you're there, don't forget to get a big glass of that sweet tea. Visit them online at tacocasa.com. That's tacocasa.com. Quality, taste, and value on the biggest cactus in town. That's Taco Casa, tacocasa.com.
Alabama football is back, and there's nothing more refreshing than an ice-cold Surfside to enjoy while you cheer on your Crimson Tide. Surfside is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles. That's right, no carbonation, so it's easy to sip and enjoy. It's not a seltzer, it's Surfside. Proud partner of the Crimson Tide. Sold in stadium and at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
The Venue, your new favorite Tuscaloosa hangout, food, music, and more. Come and taste what's new at The Venue, whether it's Liza's Sweet Shop, whether it's the all-day breakfast and burgers from Ramajama's, or the quality food that you can get at Finish Pub. Great atmosphere, great time, great people, great environment. That's The Venue. You can find them online at thevenuetuscaloosa.com, located off of Watermelon Road, just past Sokol Park. That's The Venue, Tuscaloosa's new favorite hangout. Make it yours.
Interact with the Martin Houston Show by calling us at 205-342-9904 or tuning into the Martin Houston Show on Facebook.
Welcome back into the Martin Houston Show with Martin and Xavier. Guys, woo, man, this hour flies by. It is the Sound of Bama Sports, your show, your team, whether you jump in on the hotline or you give your comments over on the online stream. So we had that conversation, got a lot of maniac moments powered by Empowerment Leadership and People Solutions that we need to get to. Mac Gill MP says offensive line got to continue to play physical. This is always a game won in the trenches. He also said hopefully Grubb learns a toss sweep or an off tackle run during his time with Gruden. Man, I'm telling you, if we could do that, just if we use the 50-plus yards width of the field in the run game, just like Tennessee does in the pass game, it'll help our run game. Spread them out, make them defend the run from the D gap to the D gap, meaning put a tight end in there, run some toss sweeps, run some off tackle plays with the tight end. That spreads them out. Jacob Powell said Ty has a great deep ball from what I'm hearing. Just need O-line to play well to give him time for those plays to develop. The run game could help with that as well. Agree. I think we can also use the deep ball to push guys deeper down the field. They're not playing 8 in the box, but they're playing fairly close to the line of scrimmage because we're not going over the top. So we need to look at that as well. McGill MP says, hey, it's the scheme. Grubb needs to work on the scheme. Hollywood the Barber saying, man, look at it. Hey, we need to understand Grubb came to Alabama from the Seahawks because they let him go because Grubb didn't get the job done in the run game. Keith Holcomb replied that, if we're sitting here talking about the fact that Alabama doesn't run off tackle or toss sweeps, the other teams know that when they're preparing as well. Jacob Powell and others talking about they were a little bit concerned about Ty's floaters on the deep ball. I'm not really worried about Ty's arm strength in the deep ball. I really think he can throw the deep ball well enough for Alabama to win the game. Keith Holcomb saying AK Deer has that vision. He just may not have the blocking aspect down yet. I've heard AK Deer has great vision, but AK Deer is a liability in a couple ways. One is he doesn't have a full grasp of the entire playbook. He may get there. Don't be surprised if AK Deer doesn't play down the stretch in the playoffs if this continues. But he also needs to get better in the blocking game. Bam Bam 72 said, why do we not do that more? What is he talking about? Run the toss sweep, run off tackle, etc. And also add the speed sweep at the RPOs to the game. Let me ask you something, guys. What did we say Ryan Williams' greatest strength was? Yak, right? Yak yards. Yak yards after catch. Give him a bubble screen. Let him, if his greatest aspect is that he is dynamic in space, give him the ball in space on a quick slant. Let him catch it at 6-7 yards, split the defender, and go to the house. Give him the ball on a bubble screen. Let him make a guy miss, get a little blocking out there. Jeremy Bernard has shown that he can block. Isaiah's a big-bodied wide receiver. And then after you throw the bubble screen a couple times, the defense is going to get aggressive. They're going to try to close in on it. And boom, instead of Jeremy blocking or instead of Isaiah blocking, they go like they're going to block and they slip and down the field, touchdown. Use what Ryan Williams, give him the ball on the speed sweep. Bring him across and just give it to him. Not the reverse where everybody and their uncle sees that he's looping back to get a reverse or that. Run the shovel pass to him, run the speed sweep to him. Not just him. You trust Jeremy Bernard as a running back, give him to it in the run. We are going to have to supplement our run game with those types of things. And, of course, Lance Larkin, maybe great insight here. He says, Grubb may be holding back on the scheme to implement down the stretch in the playoffs. I know that's counting eggs that haven't hatched, but maybe he's keeping something in the bag. Maybe, and we haven't needed it. Maybe it'll come out if we need it. Man, there's more comments. Not going to get to all of the Maniac moments and comments, but the Maniac moments powered by Empowerment Leadership and People Solutions. It's the Sound of Bama Sports, your show, your team. When we talk, you interact, we bring it into the conversation. Thanks for being a part of the program. I'm Martin Houston. That's Chase Brumfield. Thanks to all the Maniacs. Thanks to all the callers, listeners, chatters, viewers for being a part of the program. Remember this, trust in the Lord always. Lean not on your own understanding. All your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. On tomorrow, we're going to have our score prediction contest. I'm going to take a snapshot of all these comments, work them in as well. We'll give you our keys to the victory on tomorrow right here on the Martin Houston Show with Martin and Xavier. Roll Tide, everybody.
We gon' celebrate and have a good time.
Thank you for listening to the Martin Houston Show on your home for Alabama sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.